Hi everyone. So I'm making another video, but this is something that is actually a little bit different from what I'm actually always making. I actually wanted to just talk a little bit about this particular drama series that uh, I saw clips of it and I actually watched. I watched parts of the trailer and I seen clips from summary clips of the every episode from seasons 1 and 2. It's actually this drama series, Alchemy of Souls. Okay, Alchemy of Souls. Yeah. In Korean, the title is Hwan Hon Pikwa Kerimja. So it means basically literally means changing of souls, um, light, and the painter when you're translating it. But of course, the international title is Alchemy of Souls. So the drama is actually pretty interesting. It's actually a fantasy, and I actually thought that as someone who actually did quite a lot of courses back in university and graduate school on performance, film, drama, and yeah, I mean my minor area was actually drama and my major area was medieval literature. So back in my graduate school, and I thought that it was really interesting because I also done quite a bit of writing and research on the area of Korean film and drama. So the drama series is interesting because it's based on the premise of a fictional kingdom. It's called Daeho, Daeho. Yeah. There's this race of not race, like a tribe or group of people who were called the soul shifters. Yeah, they could basically perform the art of changing their souls from one person to the next. But that's actually a gift. So obviously, it's always done mostly when they are about to die or when they are faced with like a near death experience. So right at the point when they are about to die, they will shift their consciousness or their soul onto some other host body, and yeah, that's the very interesting concept because if you were to think about it, it sounds a lot like the Western concept of the transmigration of souls. Yeah, the idea that souls can move from one body or one host to the next. Sometimes when you transmigrate from one body to the next, it need not be in the same. I mean the new body might not look the same. And this is a concept that has been around in I think most cultures, not just the Greeks, but even in ancient Chinese and Korean cultures. Yeah, particularly because that's the belief in reincarnation, the idea that your soul can reincarnate, yeah, as someone else, and you might or might not have memories of that prior or past life that you have. So true to the spirit of most South Korean drama series, there is romance at the core of both seasons. So the first season deals with this assassin who's also a soul shifter by the name of Naksu. Yeah, uh, during the last moments when she's supposed to be killed off, she actually she transposed her soul onto another host body of a girl. Yeah, mainly a girl who is actually blind. Uh, Mudok, yeah. And Mudok was actually the original Mudok. Okay, was supposed to actually work in a brothel, but by some fluke because of this transposition of the souls, what happens is that Mudok, formerly Naksu, the soul, is now yeah, is now like doing something like stealing from the brothels or whatever, and she bumps into this man who was actually a very he's the son or heir of the Chang family, J and G family, by the name of Chang Uk. Yeah, and of course, it's true to the spirit of most Korean fantasy or historical epics. It's not. I mean, there's nothing historical in it, but I mean, it's true to the spirit of most fantasy historical slasher epics. Yeah, romance, swashbuckling romances, where we actually see the romance between the two of them. That initially he was actually he actually employed Mudok as his servant, but it turns out that in some other life, or I mean, or at least in a prior reincarnation, that actually I mean, as Naksu in her previous reincarnation as Naksu, uh, Changwook actually turns out to be her student. Yeah, and I mean, not just in any alchemy whatever of souls, but also in martial arts. So yeah, that's the whole idea. And then of course later on, that's the idea that you can actually I mean, this premise has been continued from season 1 until season 2. So the that's the twist, obviously, that it turns out that Changwook, who's initially known to be the troublemaker, turns out to be actually the other person who was born under the king star. Yeah, yeah, it's like this. There's a lot of reference to astrology too, that the king star, that because he was born under the king star, he was supposed to be actually the person to be the rival. He was the rival of the crown prince, and potentially he might not actually. I don't think he's was he supposed to be the son of some of the king himself. Yeah, other than the current crown prince. So yeah, there's a kind of like tension between the two of them, and he dies. Obviously, he's being killed later on when Mudok recovers all her memories and her power, and and obviously at that point in time she is being controlled by another soul shifter who's able to wield a power to control all the soul shifters. So yeah, but then obviously at the very last bit, so there are a lot of scenes which are very well orchestrated, because the drama series actually tries to use certain key motifs. For example, the idea, I mean, to reinforce the theme of like reincarnation, and the fact that you can actually, these two, Naksu or Naksu slash Mudok and Changwook, can actually recognize each other via the souls, regardless of the differing physical appearance in the body. So for example, the red and the blue gemstone, or the jade that each of them carries individually or respectively. So they are meant to be a way of calling out the the soulmate or the partner. And okay, and then in the second season, okay, so just going back to the end of the first season, what happens is that the character of Changwoo was actually obviously killed off by mistake by um, Mudok, who was under control. He uses his death to actually obviously redeem her and to make her come to her senses, to realize that, oh no, I'm under control by someone else. And obviously, but what happens is that there was some, I think into the second season, I mean, it's very true to most Korean drama series, where there's season 1, season 2, and there's always a cliffhanger in the middle of season, not at the middle, at the end of season 1. Yeah, so basically, the character of Changwook was being resurrected again. Yeah, and while he's being resurrected, I think there was another case where the character of Mudok, who was actually formerly Naksu, the her spirit turns out to be actually reincarnated, yeah, or shifted onto the person who's actually the yeah, she gives out her life to actually save him. So to save this Changwoo, but in the process her soul didn't really die off, obviously, because this whole series is based on the premise of the immortality of the soul, that the soul will actually keep on transmigrating from one host to the other, whether it's via your own will or via someone else's transmigrations powers. Yeah, and So what happens is that the soul of Naksu, also Mudok, is now transposed into another new body. The daughter of a shaman, yeah, a shaman or witch doctor, who actually runs a particular school or academy or something like a is yeah. I'm not sure about the title because it's quite yes, just forgot about it. But yeah, and then it turns out that the character, the resurrected daughter, is now Jim. Yeah, it was the witch doctor's daughter, so it's by the name of Jin Bu Yon. So yeah, Jin is actually in Korean, in Korean, but in Chinese, I think it means Chen. Yeah, and so what happens is that the mother actually, she's told by the witch doctors and by the other priests and all the other magicians, the soul shifters, that although the body of her daughter is now resurrected, but because the host, that particular in the soul that actually animates the body, is actually the soul of Naksu, and the soul of Naksu has lost her powers and her memory. So as her memory comes back, this whole the whole obviously the whole thing about her being yeah, that she can't, that Jin Bu Yong can't actually live on, because this soul and it's not actually a natural union of the soul and body, because it was done by via the soul shifting abilities. What it leads to is the attempt of the the witch doctor's side and everyone to try obliterating her memories, because they fear that let's say if Chang recognizes the soul or the person that is within the body, they will fall in love and he will try to take her away. And obviously the second season is based on this premise of him recognizing the soul of Naksu or slash Mudok in this new body, which is Jin Bu Yong. And obviously they get married because she tries to escape her mother's control and everything. And yeah, it's interesting. Okay, it's really, really interesting. I'm planning to actually watch it on Netflix. I mean, not Netflix, but online. And it's actually there's a really big following right now. And I mean, after watching clips and everything, I thought that what, I should just really watch the full episodes and everything. It seems to be like, I mean, there are many new actors and everything, and I mean, whom I don't really know, like very young actors, including EJ Wook and I think Shin Song Ho. Yeah, some new actor. So and the only one who is probably quite a long-standing actress would be the one in the first season. Yeah, Chun So Min. She's really young too, but she's been around in some drama series, and this turns out to be like a period uh, costume drama slash fantasy. And okay, but taking away that side, that there's certain things about the thematic which I thought was quite interesting, because I've been talking a lot about the I mean, in my own particular uh, channel about how like this idea of the soulmate is actually quite dangerous. It keeps on getting manipulated by very toxic people and everything. But I mean, but effectively, this idea of a soulmate, that we recognize each other since like goodness knows the beginning of time, that there's a kind of soul contract that was there in the beginning, before we even incarnated in this particular life or the next or whatever. Um, it's been around in most Asian religions. Yeah, Buddhism has it, shamanism has it, even Chinese folk religion, Taoism, and even the native folk religion have those beliefs. And there's this idea that our souls are actually pre-existing the bodily existence. So I mean that even in the early phase of Christian history, there was this idea that was being propounded by Origen, ORIG, and yeah, the second century church father. he was kind of heretical in the claim that there was all this pre-existence of souls, and that is before we the souls not reincarnated but incarnated as body. So in a way, it's actually suggesting that we existed first as spirits, or as somewhat like something akin to the angels before we incarnated in the bodily form. So yeah, I mean, this didn't fly very well with the church back in the second century AD, which is the common era. So, but anyway, so this is one of the aspects, the idea that you can recognize your soulmate across centuries, bodies, whatever. I mean, if you were to flip around though, I think why don't we flip it around and think that we can actually recognize our enemies too? I wish, but yeah, but it doesn't always go that way. And but the interesting other thing would be the concept of the calling out to the soulmate or to that person. I mean, the character of Chang Wook, and the way he actually calls out to Naksu spirit is actually via the red and the blue jade stone that each of them has. And there was also the I mean, that's the second thing, the calling out to the soulmate. Yeah. There's also the idea of the what was that, the eyes being the windows to the soul. Okay, because one thing with all soul shifters, those who can conduct the skill or the power of Huan Hon, which means to uh, change your soul with someone else in the body. This is a very common motif again in, let's say, in Chinese drama, in Korean dramas. I mean, and it's by virtue of the common cultural belief in reincarnation. So the idea that the idea of this drama is that all these soul shifters, their eyes, when they reincarnate in some other new body, with that former spirit of theirs in that last in the original body, um, when they were a soul shifter, uh, this new body actually can register the presence of the new spirit, the new yeah via the eyes. The eyes have a color. It gives off a bluish glow. And the idea that the eyes are the windows to the soul, um, is a very, very prevalent idea that keeps on repeating throughout the drama. Anyway, I'm not gonna give any spoilers and whatever, but so I recommend watching it for yourself, and of course before Valentine's Day. There's a happy ending at the end of second season, and yeah, this character of Jin Bu Yong obviously recognizes the past, and then I think there was some magical ritual whatever to make the spirit of Naksu live on in Jin Bu Yong's body, and she persists as a new character. I think she gives herself a new name called Cho Yong. Yeah, one character, I think Yong and Wook. I think that one character from your name actually, when put together, it means light. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that works, but yeah. But so this is a very interestingly. It can probably classify under fantasy slash uh, epic slash romance. Yeah, with some very philosophical ideas. Okay, anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna make another video. I wanted to make something about Valentine's Day actually, and more in line with what I usually do on narcissistic abuse and personality disorders. But that would be for another time. Okay, I hope everyone has a good night. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.